Welcome to the lecture series on linear algebra. Continuation to the previous lectures, in this lecture also we are going to continue with examples of vector spaces. In one of the previous lectures, what we have seen is that this Fn over F is going to be a vector space. That is, whatever may be the field that you take, you can make the Cartesian product of this field for any number of times, and this is going to consist elements of this form, where each element is taken from this field will form a vector space over the field F. And we have also proved that if we have F as a field and K as a superfield, that is F is a subfield of K, then K is a vector space over F. But F is not a vector space over K. And we also know that every field is a vector space over itself. With these ideas, we are going to work out few problems like this. Okay. Now, in this idea, what they have given, if we have a field, with the help of the field, we can form a vector space like this. Okay. If we take a subfield of a field, over the subfield, the field will form a vector space. These things we have seen. Here, we are given with some combined things of these things. But here, the operations are not specified. If the operations, that is scalar addition and vector addition and scalar multiplications are not specified, we will have to consider these things in the usual sense. That means, suppose let me take this Q Cartesian with R and C, this to be V and my field to be Q. In that case, what am I going to do is that if I take any elements of this form, my elements will be the 3 tuple, where this x1 is a member of Q and x2 is a member of R and x3 is a member of C. Right? So having this, I am defining operations in this form. Right? This is how we are defining a vector addition. You see, this is a rational quantity, this is also a rational quantity. When you add, you are going to get back rational quantity. This is real and this is all real, hence the resultant is real. Similarly, the resultant is going to be complex in this sense. The closure is satisfied when you make the associativity identity element, because 0 is going to serve as the identity. 0 is a member of all the 3 fields. Right? So it is going to satisfy all the requirements. Now, the question comes when this is the case. Here it is defined in this sense only. Here, the quantity that we are going to take is a quantity from rationals. When we multiply a rational with another rational quantity, we are going to get a rational quantity. So, this is valid, fine. When we multiply a rational quantity with a real quantity, we are not guaranteed to get back a rational quantity, but we are guaranteed to get a real quantity. And the quantity will not be more than real, that is, it cannot go to a complex also. So this is also valid. And when you multiply a complex quantity with a rational quantity, you are going to get back complex. So this is fine. So now you are left to check the requirements, and you can see that this forms a vector space. This is how the addition, that is the vector addition and scalar multiplication, are defined in all the cases. Right? Here what is going to be the case? This one has to be a real quantity, this one has to be a real quantity, and this has to be a complex quantity, and is defined over R. So when you multiply a real value with a complex value, you will land in complex value. So these are all valid things now, and we can check the other requirements whether this is satisfying the conditions or not, and we can easily prove that these are satisfying those conditions. Now let us come to the third case. Okay, so there also we are just making the same thing. Okay, this is sum for x. Here all your x1, x2, x3, all these are rational quantities, and what is going to be your f? Your f is going to be a real quantity. Okay, so the addition has no problem because we are just dealing with only the rational numbers. The addition of two rational numbers is going to be a rational number, and the associativity, identity, existence of inverse, and the commutativity all are true in rationals under addition. So that gives you the requirements here as well. The problem comes only when we deal with the scalar multiplication, because the scalars are to be taken from the set of reals and the entries are rationals. So here is this a valid one? That is a question mark. For example, I am choosing a scalar under root 2. My vector is going to be 1, 2, 3, or I may have 1 upon 2 as well, 1 upon 2, 3 upon 4, 2 upon 5, any kind of this thing. Okay. When I multiply these things using this sense, what am I going to get is that under root 2 upon 2, 2 under root 2 upon 5, 3 under root 2 upon 4. These are not members of Q. The scalar multiplication is itself not well defined in this case. Hence, it is not a vector space. Here what we have to understand, we have listed the operation and we are checking these things. But before starting this problem, I have recalled the concept that we have seen in the previous videos. That is, if we have a field and a superfield K is a vector space over F, and F is not a vector space over K. Here you see this Q is a subfield of R. So your F is Q here and K is R here. So this Q will not form a vector space over R. If that is the case, this will also not the case. Using that idea also, you can come to the conclusion that it is not a vector space. But what about here? This is a specific example that we have seen. Okay, but this F is also a vector space over K for certain things. What are the certain things? That is, for trivial subfields. That is, when your F is same as that of K, or when your F is the set consisting of only the additive identity 0. If these two are the cases, F is a vector space over K. You will have this. In this case also, your F is a subfield of K, right? Using that idea, you see here, this is a subfield of R. Okay, R is a vector space over Q. That is fine. What about this? This is one of the improper subfield or trivial subfield. Okay, so this set 0 is going to form a vector space over Q, over any field actually. Here in specific, it is a vector space over Q. This is also a vector space over Q. So this will also form a vector space over Q under the same operations. Okay, here what is going to happen? Instead of an x1 and x3, you have 0 fixed. So when you make the addition also, you are going to have 0 here. When you make the scalar multiplication also, you are going to get 0 here. The condition to be checked is only for this. Okay, R2 is going to form a vector space over Q. Therefore, all the requirements follows trivially. Hope you have had some more idea of vector spaces. In the upcoming lectures, we will see about subspaces and few more concepts in vector spaces. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any queries, you can post it in the comment section. That will be clarified within 24 hours of time. Thank you.